very good morning, and it's again nice to be part of ICT Academy.
Thank you, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead to deliver your session to the
Yeah, see,
educators.
we have three components. One, the education. Second, again, the employability. The third one is again the entrepreneurship. See, when it comes to education, most of the educational institutes actually they teach education. Of course, it is to add some basic qualification. But again, the primary concept of education is to prepare the personality. And most of the educational institution they provide a very good CGPA scale, especially 9+. But when it comes to the employability and the entrepreneurship, we could able to, because many times when I sit in the interview board, when we assess because the profile, when it comes to the table to the interviewers, especially the employer side, when we see the profile, we see a lot of things in the profile, and we try to come to at least a percentage of conclusion that about the social background, educational background, and based on his extra curriculum and the hobbies, we try to, and also the soft skills which he has given, we try to come to conclusion to go on testing those whatever he has made himself available on the paper. So that is why very important when it comes to educational institutions, when we see the profile, very important to the educators. See, when I see some institution, that is why we try to have a high reputation to the IITs and the NITs and even to some of the best reputed institutions. See, when we see the profile of an institution that a person graduated from these institutions, we really have, and also we expect the high standards. And whereas an average institutions and the institutions which are less known. So when anyone with the educational background of a reputed institution, we expect more from them. And when we find that there is a discrepancy between the expected performance and the performed during the interview board, we are trying to what is already fixed. Suppose from a reputed institution, I'm trying to fix them that I should give above 8. But when someone performs less than that, again, we are trying to score behind the institutions. From this institution, whoever comes up and appear before the institution, it's tremendous. We thought to give for this institution 7. But from these institutions, out of, again, 10 candidates, from a particular institute, from an institute called an A, suppose out of 10, 3 are appearing from A, all the 3 are above 8, then we tend to form an opinion. That's how all the institutions at the national level and the international level, they try to create opinion by their students. And once they get into the interview board, either for the employment, especially the private employment, or for the public employment, the government employment, we tend to again try to assess the individual's personality. Very important. Sometimes some institution may not be heard of, maybe of some XYZ of a remote place or anywhere. When we find someone an excellent presentation, because now the educational institutions are not very popular, but when the candidate or the person who is appearing before, we really see them that, hey, where was this guy, and is it that guy prepared himself of his personality or institution? And we even try to introspect. Sometimes we have a post-interview discussion also about the candidates. When the discussion goes on, many times in the mock interview board for the civil service examination, UPSC civil service examination, we tend to discuss. Really, though he is from a very small reputed institution, the way he presented his personality was extraordinary. So let us give him a high average in the interview board. So that is why education is to make use of the personality for the day-to-day life. All the teachers, the educators should have it in mind. The knowledge, whatever they are acquiring, don't think that the education, even technical or any generic education, that it can't be applied. Very important. That was actually I was telling, when a civil engineering graduate been asked to he shown a room and asked to tell about how much square feet this room has. Now he is not knowing about the dimensions, and he is not able to scale the room also, how much exactly the square feet consists of. And even for an IC, the ECE or a triple E or even an information technology guy, when I'm showing a component in the room to identify whether this is an electrical or electronic device, again, or how the interface between the electrical, electronic, and digital interface can happen, take place, and how the IoT can happen. So when I'm showing something in the room and to describe, but give him the opportunity to describe about what this technology which is shown can be put into use. Now he is not actually able to connect his education, what he has acquired on the paper, and put it on you know, to someone to present to make himself presentable to someone. So that is why even in Tirukural, it's again a very very important say where some 2000 years before Tiruvallur rightly said, "Inarulthum Nara Malaranayar Kattradu Unara Virithurayar." I will put it in English. See, there is a flower. If that flower has actually, it has blossomed. After blossoming, it doesn't have a fragrance, and the fragrance actually it goes far away, and it attracts a lot of bees. The same way, your education should have a flair for your personality, and it should make so many to attract and take the nectar out of that education. The same way, it is every personality is like a flower. Whatever the education which has attained or acquired by an individual, it should give some fragrance to his personality, and through his personality now, because the technology is connecting the entire globe, so that they can display the personality in social networking and to many global multinationals, and make them presentable in such a way that what is their core strength. So that is why I say people that again, the Tiruvallur has rightly have given an analogy. Like a flower, if doesn't have a fragrance, then what is the usage of the flower blossoming and the essence of the flower also? The same way, the education what someone has acquired should give some kind of a personality flair to throw his personality and take up the challenge and prove himself what he is actually about. And that is why now, yesterday also I was talking about Socrates. He has stated that I'm not a Grecan or I'm not an Athenian. I'm a citizen of this entire universe. So say in again the globe. Now I'm stating that because in the future again another 30, 40 years, we are now exploring ourselves to go and settle in some extraterrestrial bodies also, like mission, moon's mission, India's moon's mission, and now we are even planning mission to the Mars and the other beyond the Jupiter. So in that way, we may establish colonies. Very important, especially the COVID-19 situation. Remember that India is going to have a lot of potentials because we have a lot of technical and skilled manpower when compared to other countries. Because India has actually have the English as the language which is provided in the 10th standard and the plus 2, and even the technical graduation, any graduation, English as one subject. In rest of the other countries, again, it's not mandatory. That is why this English connects the entire globe, make them that we are able to make ourselves good communicator in terms of our presentation, and the English provides us a connectivity across globe. So in the post-COVID situation, remember that many multinationals are going to enter into India, and a lot of technical employment is going to be looked up, and people, though it may be a mass scale, but they may look for people because sometimes entry may have a democratic entry, like giving opportunity to everyone, but someone has to scale up from the lower level to the middle level to the higher level. That time again, personality matters. Unless someone acquires the personality traits and the values, they may not have a scale up, and this is where the educational institutions all about. Not only teaching, though they are teaching some soft skill program, it's more of an assignment they are giving it. Let them start using in their institution, and let them take an opportunity to compete now itself to the global scenario, and makes themselves more competent. And that is why the technical employment, I always say that especially in the Indian engineering service, many people do not appear, the engineering graduates don't appear for Indian engineering service, and they're not even aware of it. It's happening every year, and also there is a technical entry scheme for all the tri-service again, the Army, Navy, and also the Air Force, and even the Coast Guard also. There is it's called a technical entry scheme. Many technical graduates, even there is a non-technical entry scheme also, and people who have completed their NCC C certificate A grade, they can also directly appear. And so it's very simple. They're not testing the knowledge. They're testing their personality through psychometric tests. So here, how someone is going to make use of the personality. In that way, remember, have all the educational institutes, let the educational institutes, let them have a personality tag. Let them have the traits across, and try to find out unique values of each and every one. Many institutions, they are trying to make it levels. That's again the level sum. It's not that making someone level sum. It is only to acquire knowledge. You can make someone leveling effect. But again, that you need to, all the educational institutes and the educators should identify the uniqueness of each and every personality. So when they go out, to make them that how logic, how creative, how logical they could able to find out the employability in the huge employable market across globe. Now, though I can sitting at home reaching a globe across the same way. Now the personality not it's confined to a single room. We could able to reach out across countries. The same way, someone has to develop the personality, and it's very important that these personalities should be ascertained right from their school education and the college education. In that way, very important, the educators. That is what I said. When I see any personality before me or before the interview board, I see the first the educational institutes, and second I'm seeing who's a teacher, because one teacher influences the hello.
Sir, please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, one teacher actually influences, because out of again some 15 years of education, right from again I'm taking right from LKG UKG, out of again some 15 to 16 years of education, one teacher or some 2-3 teachers again influences our personality and they dominate, and in that way we are carrying their values across our life again, and we are remembered for those values. That is where educators again, they should think that they are personality creators. If they think that they are personality creators, they are creating again the future generations and the future leaders to sit across the globe, and the multinationals like our the Indian Sundar Pichai heading the CEO of Google. In the same way that there are potential human resource in the post-COVID-19 situation where India is going to have, and the human crisis, because that is why in every census, when we look for juvenile population, that 10 years again, that juvenile population become an adolescent population and a productive population, and this population is going to be the productive population for India, where the entire globe is looking for, where in this post-COVID-19 situation, human crisis is going to happen across world, but it will not happen in India, because we have juvenile population, that which is a very productive population, which is going to enrich India, and the entire global nation is going to look for those human resources. Only thing that we require very high personality traits and the values to make them to scale up to the middle level and to the higher level careers also. Educators don't provide only education. As I stated, when they join the institution, give them the personality tag, not in a negative way. Though even don't think them that you are only providing education. You are making them a livable entity or livable person, that they have their hash value. Even every technical device has its own hash value. That you now develop a personality value for each and every one and tag them in terms of personality. You try to assess them in terms of personality. Have they really improved the personality before and after they've joined your institution? In that way, again, I'm getting back. It's not that as Swami Vivekananda stated, give me 100. Now, maybe during that time, Vivekananda would have stated that give me 100. Now we have that's again 10 rise to the power of 100. So in that way, that is the strength of the India. So as Vivekananda stated, now we have to state that 10 raised to the power of 100. It's not a mere 100. So that resourceful population, you people or the educators are handling. That is why I reach especially the rural areas, the slum areas, and the tribal areas. No more than 3,000 youngsters of India, where whether they are governmental institution or private or socially economic, and I'm even mentoring them through my website and my blog and my social networking in a very productive way. Everything again, every social networking should be taken in a very positive way to develop a personality as an educator, develop the individual's personality of your institution. In that way, when they go out, as I stated, these personalities not only talk about their educational background and institutional background, everyone should talk themselves about before the interview panel members or to the entire globe as such. In that way, no more I'm going to be a Nathan or a Grecan or an Indian. I'm a global citizen. In that way, I take this opportunity to the ICT Academy, which they give me opportunity. I thank all the educators and the viewers. Take this opportunity, tag your personality and develop your personality. When it derives value, it should definitely have every day the values are enhanced. If that value are enhanced, you are using your education to make use for the entire community. All the best.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much for your inspiring words. And now I'm sure every faculty member who has been listening to you now, I think you just took the cue out of Dr. Monia, and you emphasized on the teachers and the importance of teachers. Now our next speaker has also come in. Before that, I'll ask you one question on behalf of the entire teacher community. Post-COVID, what are your few top one or two important things the teachers should do for students post-COVID?
See, that's what I said. Now, entire the multinationals and the global countries again, they're going to look for the Indian human resources, because they are. I'm telling you, one, English-speaking population. Second, again, soft skill on the higher side. The third one, again, the technical graduation. So they should, the teacher should say that they should strengthen their personality. And it's not that someone they are confining only to. When I say stay at home, it's not staying at home. Staying at home, I can reach this entire globe. So that is where they should make them that not confining. It's again rather liberating their personality. Allow make the teachers that how to liberate the personality to reach this globe. That is what I am requesting all the teachers. Liberate each and every personality from an institution to reach the multinationals.
Excellent, sir. Excellent, sir. Thank you for that really compelling message for the teachers. I think you could have just watched the chat window. It has been really inspiring, and you touched upon most important one Tirukural, and that makes lots of meaning and easy understanding for all of us in South India. And I'm sure your translation into English made everybody understand. So we are very happy that we had you, and we made this 3,500 educators listen to you, sir. Thank you very much for giving us this time. And Amit, your busy. We know that your offices are all working, and you took time out of your daily schedules, and you delivered this.
Yeah, it's always a great pleasure that reaching the youth of India through ICT Academy, and it's doing a greater role. It's pleasure that to be part of any time with the ICT Academy.
Thank you, sir. Now today, with this 4,000 teachers, it is indirectly reaching several lakhs of students, because today we are just touching one teacher who is minimum touched with some hundreds of students on daily basis, sir.
Exactly.
So thank you very much once again. Thanks a lot for your wonderful session.
Vanakkam.
Vanakkam, sir. Vanakkam. So with this, now let me move on, and I'll request Mr. Rahul Sharma to he just switched on.